Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry, part 10. So when we left off, we just discovered, we were helping Rena uncover that, statue thingy, Colonel Randy, and we discovered these newspapers, and now we found the damn worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. Dun dun dun! Oh, so, and we had the whole weird piano stuff. So let's read on. Here it is. The feature article was in the back, and it seems that there was a photograph and coloured pages at the front. The pages of the featured article stuck together and weren't easy to open. By design? Or an accident? Renner could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and the newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare of the Hinamizawa construction site, lynching and murder/dismemberment. The victim was the site's foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing, and Rena comes back. On it was: the assailants butchered... what? No, I want back. The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes. Then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. The head, arms, legs, and torso. Wait, so if we go back... Because we were talking about how it would be easier if there was a... Rip. I'm just going to pause the recording a bit. Because remember a while ago... never mind, you can just go back and watch the previous video. Because remember that part where we were saying it would be easier to... if we had like an axe or something? What was Rena's reaction to that, I wonder? In any case, continue on. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With a hatchet. What for? Oh, that was kind of creepy for a second. That definitely looked like an image of Rena with like a blade or something. Okay, again, I'll go back and check the recording for that. Yeah, just a bit creepy. Rena dropped her... okay. Okay, so she was... yeah. Rena dropped the hatchet she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. Okay. She really was just being earnest and all. And you just so happen to know where the hatchet was in the shed. And like the intro sequence from the very beginning. Anyway, Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. Oh, it seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely.
ごめん。 ちょっとオーバーに驚きすぎたかな。
こっちこそごめんね。ごめんね。
Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow.
最後の針はそのナタじゃないと壊せそうにない。せっかく持ってきてくれたんだし、明日借りるよ。な。何しょんぼりしてるんだよ。明日にはランディ君が掘り出せるんだぜ。
そうだよね。
Are you hiding something?
早くランディ君をお持ち帰りしたい。
Sure. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought, and wiped off the sweat now that it had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. The plot thickens. Oh, that's a chapter. Achievement unlocked, one man's trash. The Hinamizawa Dam Project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin Number redacted, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam was to have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The area to be flooded by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Taketsudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yakuchi. The submerged area would include 291 houses. So, I mean, it's definitely going to fix all their electrical needs. That's a terrible joke. Population 1,251. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship were to be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking for hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land was just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged and banded together and created the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, redacted, openly refused. Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and sealed their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understood that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the heart of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onikakushi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kichiro Kimiyoshi. Secret special tabloid report. Nightmare befalls for Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment on X day of X month in XX prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction worksite in Shishibone City. A bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Not sure if we've heard this music before. Maybe we have. I just don't remember it. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to a homicide. So said the aforementioned Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body, which nobody could have mistaken as alive. XX's son had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behaviour. At first it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself in to the police. It was the de facto leader of the group, Redacted, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think that they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them, and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. Redacted turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. Redacted had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound, was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who suddenly refused, but Redacted threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. Yeah, I mean, the second murder is always much harder for people. After the first time, they understand what it feels like, and they don't want to feel it again, typically. Which is why, soldiers and everything have to go through, special training. To overcome that. Yeah. Anyway. But, yeah, Redacted probably isn't that kind of person. The other, 4? For 6 of them, one of them's Redacted, one's against. The other 4, probably wouldn't want to murder again, but yeah. But Redacted's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Another Redacted, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle, and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader, Redacted's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by Redacted has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that Redacted had said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. Redacted's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. Redacted didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police, and used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumours going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onikakushi, the Yoga's Abyss, or Abyss, and it is said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from that hell was redacted. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? What? The sudden change in music. Also, I have no idea how to say that. Precision dragon, bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous future, ladies leaping into your arms, or wink wink, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm. Not just for pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Sijin Dragon Bracelet DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. That's a bit pricey. I guess we'll continue. The function of a school as an educational facility is very questionable. That's certainly true, from what we've gathered. Yep. Our PE class is exceptionally disorganized. The only things we do together are for warm-ups at the start. The teacher isn't even there after that. The amount of face palms I'm giving right now. All we do is play together.
仕方ないじゃん。年齢も性別もバラバラだし。一応ね、体育の時間は校庭で体を動かすのだけが決まりなの。
The only rule is that they have to stay on school grounds? Really? Really? Presumably there's also like no roughhousing rules and all. What are the other sprites like? All the little kids were gallivanting around about. Well, they certainly are being active. We might be getting plenty of exercise, but...
きっと教育委員会はこの学校を見落としてるんだろうな。
お待たせしましたです。さてご一同様、今日の体育は何をいたしましょう。
Is it going to be another one of their club games? I feel... yeah, like her eyes have changed colour. They used to have this similar purples, not quite the same. Then yours became much more red. But yeah, anyway. Moving on.
おっしゃ。
Alright, he already said that. Yes.
これでいつものメンバー全員集合だな。
Yeah, pretty much whenever I see new character sprites, I'm going to switch between looking at the old ones and the new ones, like that. Because P does that. Thank you for Seiji. I don't know how to say your username, but yeah, in the comments for telling me about that. I clicked.
さて委員長、今日は一体どんな体育をやるのかな？やるのかな？
Mion harumphed and crossed her arms haughtily, surveying the area.
瞬発力と持久力。
Okay, when it was only explosive, I was just like, wait, what?
スポーツの世界においては仲間などいない。
I mean, if you're playing team sports, then you have plenty of friends, right?
すべてがライバル。信じられるのは己の肉体のみ。
No, you've got to believe in the power of friendship and love.
なんだそりゃ。漫画の読みすぎだろ。
No, if she read too much manga, then it really would be. They come together with the power of friendship. I quipped without missing a beat.
ってわけで、
温故知新
History?
古いながらも全ての要素を詰め込んだ屋外乱戦の王様鬼ごっこで行こう
Okay. That's a bit of an overstatement with calling it a melee event, but okay. Yeah, let's play tag. So on that note, we'll play tag next part. Hope you've enjoyed. As always, leave any feedback in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. See ya. Yeah.